What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Let's look at a recap of yesterday's free picks. So our player props were phenomenal yesterday. Almost swept the board, and then the two money lines or two sportsbook bets, they didn't go so well. So let's take a look at them. So we had Donovan Mitchell points. That one was free. You could have played alt line, regular line, whatever. He cashed pretty much every single prop. Or PRA, whatever. He probably didn't. I don't think he had that many RA, but points, he absolutely destroyed. Sengun RA was free. Imanaga under 2.5 earned runs cashed. Then we had Garrett Crochet over 17.5 pitching outs. Now Crochet was the one who missed, and he would have cashed. So he had 17, I believe, pitching outs. He was pitching the 6th inning. He got hit by a line drive, so he gave up a hit. The ball drilled him, and they pulled him. 84 pitches. Crochet is a pitcher who'll get close to 100 pitches a game. That's the only reason he got pulled. Very unfortunate on that one. But then we had our two money lines or whatever. We had the Cavs winning, which obviously we saw did not happen. So maybe I should stop sleeping on the Pacers. Maybe I need to quit being a Pacers hater. But we had that Cavs minus 5.5 spread. And then we had Golden State Houston over the 203.5 game total. That game was very slow paced, and it ended up chalking for the first time the game total. So I haven't missed a game total all playoffs long pretty much until last game. So I'm hoping that doesn't put me on a losing streak. Now, if you guys watched the video yesterday, I gave you this slip right here for absolutely free. Mitchell and Sengun, I showed you I locked it in. It was a nice little double up. Now, yesterday we had a really good day. All of these slips are from yesterday. I think a couple of them are from the day before, but we dominated yesterday. So let's take a look. So for baseball, I had the Giants, and then I had the Tigers. These are two heavy favorite money lines. It was a little double up slip, $100 to win 94. Now, I will say, guys, I took these two because I took two pitching wins. So I'm told you guys I've been liking these pitching wins a lot. I had Logan Webb and Reese Olson, $100 to win 325. Nice little payout. And if I'm going to take the pitching wins, I might as well play the money lines. So that's why I locked these in. Both of those two cashed a nice little $300 and something profit. Then we cashed Bryce Elder and Mobley. This was a second half play that I locked in. I figured Mobley would turn up the second half. He did, and cashed us out 75 for 150. And I just showed you that, guys, this slip. We had Van Vliet and Butler, a second half play again, which cashed us out 75 to win $187. A nice little $100 profit. Had Butler and Van Vliet, $100 to win 400, 374 here. $275 profit on this play. Killed it. Donovan Mitchell and Van Vliet, $100 to win 200. Gore and Logan Webb, 75 for 150. Curry and Halliburton. I ended up buying down to 11.5, almost a double up, not quite there, but freaking killed it, guys. And these I think are from the day before, Kawhi and Jokic, which I just forgot to show. And then we had Astros and Giants money line from that game, and then this was some of the MMA that cashed that our man Thor isn't posted. But anyways, guys, really good day yesterday. Hopefully we can do it again today. If you guys do want to get all of our plays, links down in the description. Join our WAP. You get every single one of these slips. All of them posted in the Discord. None of them are going to be gate kept. Join now. It's less than $1 a day. For $10 a week, you can join as well. No brainer. Would love to have you guys in the community. But anyways, guys, I am going to pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of VIP. Now, I will say, we got like 247 likes. So we didn't even hit the like threshold. I'm being generous. So if this video gets 250 likes, I will pick a random comment in tomorrow's video to win. If it doesn't, I'm just going to not do it because I know we get 400, 500 likes most videos with the same amount. I don't know if I've just been chalking some of these plays and it's making people not like the video, but 250 is going to be the threshold to give away free VIP. And let's pick our winner from yesterday. So winner from yesterday's video is YSL, who said, let's get this bag. Well, YSL, send me a message on Discord. I got you a free month of VIP. I appreciate the love and support from everybody. For the one saying change the comment picker, the comment picker is fair. I promise it's not picking bots. Every single day that I pick a winner, I get a DM in Discord claiming the free prize. They send me a screenshot of their YouTube, and I give them a free VIP. So they're not bots. These are real people getting chosen. These are real people winning free VIP. I'm not scamming, not giving it away, but I just wanted to make that clear. I will say, guys, for a free month of VIP, you can sign up for any partnered app. Link for all of them are down in the description. Chalkboard, Underdog, Parlay, Play, Better, NOVIG, Dabble, and Sleeper. Any of those 7 apps. If you sign up with our code, make the minimum deposit, you get a free month of VIP. But let's jump into these games, guys. So we got 2 new series starting tonight. We got the Knicks and the Celtics. Then we got the Nuggets and the Thunder. Now, these are two series that I think they're going to be good. I'm hoping they're competitive. I'm kind of worried about the Knicks. I think Nuggets will hang in there a little bit with OKC. I don't think it's going to be a complete stomp, but I don't think the Nuggets are going to come out here and take the dub for the series. I'm just going to be honest with you. But let's talk about game one. So game one, we had the Knicks, and then we had the Celtics. So right now, Boston is minus 370 favorites for the spread and the money line. I'm just gonna fade. Now I will say I like the game total on this one at 212. You can lock it in at over 212.5 if you want. I'm gonna buy it down to 209.5. So 209.5 is what I'm locking in. It's minus 140 odds, so you can lock it in if you want to. But if you look at the head-to-head, Knicks versus Boston, over 209.5, they have a 100% hit rate. Every single game they have been over this, and this is a lot of them from last season. From here down is from last season, but 4 games this season, 240 total, 235 total, 223 total, 236 total. So these games, at home, away, it doesn't matter where they play, they have cashed this total at 209.5. If you do go to 212.5 to the original line, it's a 78% hit rate. 2 games last season, they ended up missing. That's there. But every game this season, they still cash that line as well. So if you want to play the original line, you can for better payout. But I personally will be locking in this play, Knicks and Celtics, over 209.5 game total. So I'm betting on them to get 210 points this game, which I think is definitely doable. 105 points per team on average would do that for us. Obviously, that's if it's a tie. It's not going to go in overtime, whatever. It's not going to go to OT most likely. I mean, who knows? For people that are taking the overs, fingers crossed, maybe. I don't know. But regardless, I do think they cash that total, and I'm going to be locking them in. So if we look at the public betting on the spread, 76% of bets are on the over, 59% are money on the over. So this is a playoff game. Sometimes these playoff games do get really slow-paced and very defensive. There's a lot of nerves, a lot of missed shots, and maybe that happens tonight. But both of these teams have already played one series in the playoffs, so we already know that hopefully these nerves should be gone. It is a new series, and maybe they are, but we'll see what happens. Maybe they got the nerves. I don't know. But I will be fading both money line and spread on this game because I'm not sure what the Knicks are going to be able to do. But regardless, 209.5 should be cashed, even if it's a blowout. At least obviously the second string is going to be able to come out here. The bench guys are going to be able to score points too. So a blowout doesn't kill props for the over/under. So anyways, I like that. So jumping into game 2, Nuggets, OKC. This one's a little bit sketchy too. So you got OKC minus 370 as well. So 2 minus 370 favorites in this playoff game. Now, I think Denver keeps it closer with OKC. Well, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say I think they keep it closer than the Knicks keep it with Boston, but I'm not going to say that because I don't know that that's true. I think that's kind of a coin flip as well. I feel like the difference in teams is probably pretty similar. I do think the Nuggets are a good team, man. I don't want to sleep on the Nuggets because I like the Nuggets, but OKC's just been a freaking powerhouse this season, and I don't think the Nuggets are going to be able to take the series from them. I would love to see it personally. I'm a fan, like I said, but I just don't think it's going to happen. But looking at this game, the only thing that I want to take on this game is going to be the spread. I'm going to take the Nuggets plus 11.5. So I'll click this. Plus 9.5 the original line. It's plus 105 at 9.5. I'm buying it to plus 11.5, minus 140. I'll be playing a unit on this, and I'll probably play both of these two money lines together. But they've kept this game head-to-head. They've covered the 11.5 spread in 63% of games. So if we look at games this season, they have 4 games versus each other. 50% of the games, they've kept it close. The other ones, they didn't. Got beat by 24 this game in OKC, and then they got beat by, 15 this game at Denver. So they've lost by more than 11.5 in 2 games. 1 on the road and 1 at home. But I do think that Denver's going to have to come out here and show out to prove who they are, I guess is a good way to say it. But anyways, I do think they cover this 11.5 point spread. I'm going to lock it in. If you don't think they're going to, obviously I prefer the total on this game more than the spread on this game. That's what I'm going to say. If I had to pick one, I'd take this total. But I will be playing both of them, having them locked in, and they will be posted in Discord if you guys are in the Discord. But anyways, those are our 2 sportsbook plays. Now I'm going to jump into player props. I am going to pick 1 NBA prop from both teams, from each team I mean. So 4 NBA props, no baseball today, just for the start of these two series because I'm actually excited for these games. But anyways, let's jump into the first one. So the first one's going to be on the Knicks side of things. The player that I'm going to be taking from the Knicks is going to be our man Jalen Brunson. So I'm taking Brunson. I'm running his points line at 25.5. Now, this is a tough matchup versus Boston. I already know that. His original line is 27.5. I will be buying him down to 25.5. It is minus 168 odds, which I know a lot of people don't like buying these down, but all these props aren't bought down, so I'm just going to throw that out there. I got 2 regular line props that are going to be that you'll see here in a minute. But anyways, I do like this Jalen Brunson play, 25.5. He's cashed it 7 of his last 10. He cashed it in every game except one versus Detroit. Now, Boston has the second best points defense in the league. If you go to point guard, second worst. So they give up 26 points per game to a point guard position on average. They give up more points to the point guard position than they do any other position. By far, not even close. Brunson's been hot. He's been killing it. He's dropped almost 40 points in quite a few games, 2 of the last 6 that he's played in the playoffs. I think Brunson's going to come out here and try to show out as well. Head-to-head versus Boston, Brunson has cashed it 5 of his last 9 games. If you look at him for this season, it's 2 of 4. So he has had 36 points and 27 points in 2 of those games. Then he dropped 22 in the other 2, averaging 20 field goal attempts per game. Now, the 2 that he missed versus the Celtics, one game he shot 14 shots with a 64% field goal percentage, which is really good. The other game he shot 47%, but he took 19 shots. So this game, realistically, if it wasn't a blowout, they got beat by 22, Brunson probably would have cashed. But on this game, he did shoot a little bit worse and shot 20 attempts and still didn't cash. But tonight, I think he cashes this out. Field goal attempts in his last 10 is 21.1. He had 33 his last game versus Detroit. I see Brunson shooting over 20 shots tonight. I think he comes out here, tries to make a statement. Even if they get killed, I think he drops at least 26 points for us. And I'm going to lock him in as pick number 1. So you can get this one over on Parlay Play or Prizepicks. I do recommend Parlay Play, guys. Code Fantasy Aces gets you they give you a free $5. $100 deposit match. As you can see, we match your first deposit up to $100, and then you get a free month of our VIP. So no brainer on that one. Jalen Brunson, 25.5 points. We'll pull him up on Prizepicks. So of course, it's going to show all the goblins first. I'm just going to type in Brunson. I hate the way Prizepicks looks on desktop. I wish they would make it like they do on the app, where it just has a little arrow and you can select between the props. But they don't. They show every single prop right here, and it's really aggravating. Hard to find things. So 25.5 points on Prizepicks. We'll see what the payout difference is for these slips, but you can get it on both apps. So that's going to be pick number 1. I'll pull it up on Props Madness. Take a look at where Boston gives up the points. We're going to click Brunson, if I can find him. There he is. So Brunson has an incredible matchup here, and this is about one of the best charts you're going to see, especially in playoff games like this. So Brunson, he shoots 22% under the rim, which is orange, but he also shoots 29% in the paint, which is green, and then 15% mid-range against a team that gives up more shots mid-range than any other team in the league. Their defense in mid-range is 29th, so second to last in the league in terms of this position right here, where Brunson shoots 15% of his shots. Obviously, Brunson shoots 34% from behind the arc. 1 of every 3 shots will be a three-pointer. But Brunson should be able to show out here tonight, and I really like the way this scoring chart looks. Similar players versus the Celtics. 53% have cashed. If you go by position, 67% of point guards have cashed versus the Celtics, 10 of the last 15. So great matchup for Brunson. I've got him locked in as pick number 1. All right, guys, so our second pick of the day I already have pulled up here is going to be for our man Al Horford. Now, this is a play that I don't think I played all season long. I haven't played Horford at all, maybe once or twice max. But I'm taking Horford's RA, 7.5 rebounds and assists. So taking him over 7.5. He's cashed this line 9 of his last 10 games. Now, I will say, he cashed every game in the series versus Orlando, but you do have to consider injuries and players that have been out. So obviously, in those games, he played 34-ish minutes. A lot of them, he averaged over 30 minutes a game. And if you come over here to Horford and you put this at 30 minutes per game on the season, if he plays 30 minutes, he's cashed 80% of games. And all of these, he's pretty much dominated with over 10 RA per game. Now, realistically, I'm assuming he's probably going to get somewhere between 26 and 30 minutes. You can look at him in his last 20 games. He's played 31 minutes in his last 20. Now, he has some games he gets 25-ish minutes, 26-ish minutes, 28. So I'm going to assume, I'm just going to say 26 minutes tonight. So I'll put him at 26 minutes. On the season at 26 minutes, he has still cashed 80% of games. So it looks good. Head-to-head versus the Knicks, he has cashed 2 of 3 games this season. He had 1 game where he didn't even get 26 minutes, so he didn't cash. The other 2 games, he had 8 and 9 RA. So I'll put this at 0. That way you can see that 1 game he missed. So that one game he had 4 RA. He played right at 25 minutes. So I'm just going to guess that Horford gets 26 minutes tonight. I think he does. Right now, there's no injury news, so everybody's going to be playing for both teams. Everything should be good. So Horford probably won't get that 32, 34 minutes unless he just has a killer game while he's playing and the game's really, really close. Or maybe if it's a blowout, they'll put Horford in more. So it just depends on the scenario of the game. But I like Horford tonight, 7.5 rebounds and assists, and I'm going to lock him in. So I've put him up on Parlay Play. You can get him for a regular payout right now, 1.75x at 7.5 RA. On Parlay Play. I don't know that he's on Prizepicks. I'll be honest with you. I actually haven't checked Prizepicks on this one because the payout was so good on Parlay Play for me. There was no reason, but we'll check the difference in payout. So of course that 7.5 I saw made me think it was RA, but it was points and assists. It doesn't look like they have rebounds and assists unless I'm just completely overlooking it. I'm going to do one more quick scan, and then we're going to move on because I don't want to sit here scrolling through this for 20 minutes while you guys get bored. But anyway, so yeah, Horford's not in Prizepicks, and I'm sorry, my eyes are like watering right now for some reason. But anyways, you can't get them on Parlay Play, 1.75x, $75 on these two plays together gives you a 2.5x payout, a little more, almost 2.5x. So love this play for Horford. Think he cashes this out. That is pick number 2. So for the next one, we'll be jumping over to the Nuggets Thunder game. We're going to jump to the Nuggets side of things first. So the Nuggets side of things, I'm taking a play that I ran last time that cashed easily, man. I'm taking Aaron Gordon, and I'm taking his fantasy score. Now, this one wasn't even a sweat. And this was in the game that they got destroyed by the Clippers. So we know they got beat by, or they destroyed the Clippers. So they beat the Clippers by 19. They were up by like 30 at one point this game. Obviously, Aaron Gordon still played a lot of minutes. He played around 35 minutes, but he killed this line, man. 40 fantasy score. He's killed it pretty much every single game. He did miss the first 2 games versus the Clippers in that series. 21.5 or 21.7, 21.4. He played 38 and 31 minutes. So he's going to play big minutes. Now, every other game, he's killed it. So you can look at the 4 games before the playoffs even started. 39, 37, 45, 31. You look at him head-to-head this season, or not head-to-head, but on the season so far, he's only cashed it 45% of games. If you bring the minutes up to 30 minutes per game, so assuming he plays 30 minutes, he's cashed it 69% on the season, averaging 31 fantasy score per game. Head-to-head, he's cashed it in 2 of 3 games versus OKC, where he's played at least 30 minutes. None from this season. He barely went under this line versus OKC back in October. If you look at the other game, he only played, 6.7 minutes in that last game versus OKC back in March. So, of course, he only had 7. So, anyways, I like Aaron Gordon at 27.5 fantasy. You don't have to play it if you don't want to. Obviously, if he gets blocks and steals, this makes this line really, really easy. Head-to-head versus OKC. So, if you look at him last season versus OKC, 4, 2, and 5 blocks and steals. Dominated this line. If you look at him this season, he had 1 and 0. Now, this game doesn't count. He really didn't even play the game for the most part. This game, he got 1. As long as he gets 1, I'm happy. Now, if you look at his last 10, he's averaging 1.3. So a lot of these games versus the Clippers, he had 2. Half of the games actually he had 2. And then the other ones he didn't have any. But the 3 games before the series actually started, he had 3 and 2. And I lied. 4 of those games he cashed versus the Clippers, and 3 of them he missed. So he's getting a couple per game for the most part. I think he gets 1 or 2 tonight. As long as he doesn't have a lot of turnovers, I think we're fine. And I think we're fine regardless. So I like Aaron Gordon, 27.5 fantasy score. I know that was a little bit sloppy of a write-up or whatever you want to call this. But I do like Aaron Gordon tonight. So Gordon, no way they pulled Aaron Gordon. I swear I just saw Aaron. Thought his name popped up and disappeared. But okay, so Aaron Gordon is pulled from Parlay Play for whatever reason. I don't know what happened there. But fantasy score should be pretty easy to find on here. And I know it is 27.5 on here. It's the same fantasy score on here as it is on Parlay Play. So 27.5 fantasy score. This right here is going to be a 2.5x payout. So you can $75 win 187 if you wanted to play him this way. But I like Aaron Gordon tonight, man. I'm going to take a risk on him. Obviously it is versus OKC. OKC doesn't give up a lot of stats. It's going to be a tough matchup. But he should cash this out. So let's pull this game up over on Props Madness. Aaron Gordon. See where they allow points. So obviously, scoring chart doesn't look good. 48% of his shots are under the rim, where he's playing against the second best defense under the rim in the league versus OKC. 9% in the paint, 8% mid-range, not many shots there. Then the rest of them is going to be three-pointers, where he's playing against a good three-point defense. He shoots he does shoot 14% from corner threes. He shoots a lot of corner threes. He shoots 21% regular, but you know what I mean. But he is playing against the second best three-point defense as well. So overall, it is a very tough matchup. But regardless, I do think he cashes this 27.5. 60% of similar players have cashed versus OKC, and 5 straight games have cashed their points. So regardless, I like this line. So that's going to be our third pick of the day. Our final play is going to be from the OKC side of things, and what I'm going to be locking in is going to be another rebound and assist prop. So I'm locking in our man Chef Holmgren. So we're taking him over rebounds and assists, 9.5. So some apps have him at 10.5. You can get him at 9.5, so it's minus 123 odds on Profitex, minus 125 on Bet365. So a lot of these apps have really good payout. Now I will say Parlay Play did not have this prop, so I'm gonna check again. They only had him at 10.5. It's a 2x to go over 10.5. I'm not going to play that. I think he gets 10, but I'm not going to risk it going any higher than that. Now, I do think Parlay Play is going to give you the alt line here in a little bit to get 9.5, so just wait for it. It should come up. It should be on Chalkboard. It should be on Sleeper already. But Holmgren over 9.5. So Holmgren's cashed his 4 of his last 10, 9 of his last 20, 47% on the season. But let's take a look at minutes. Holmgren's played over 30 minutes his last 3 games for the most part. He is coming off injury, so obviously a lot of these games he's not going to have huge minutes. But Holmgren, if you put it at 28, so I think it's safe to say versus the Nuggets that Holmgren's probably going to get 28 minutes. That's my guesstimate. If he doesn't, it's not going to be much less, I don't think. So I'm just going to put 28. And now this is my guesstimate. This is me taking a guess on what I think Holmgren's going to play. So obviously there's not really much data to back the 28 minutes. I don't know what he's going to play. We'll see how close the game is, things like that. But I'm assuming 28 minutes. He's cashed 6 of his last 10, and he's cashed his 74% of games on the season, averaging 12.2 RA. Some of these games he's had a close to 20, 19, 18, 21, 17. So he has a high ceiling for getting rebounds and assists, and then he has a pretty low floor. 3, he had that one game versus Memphis where he played 28 minutes, and yeah, it was a close game versus Memphis. But obviously, I like Chet Holmgren tonight. I think he's going to cash this out head-to-head versus Denver. He's cashed this in 4 of his last 6 that he's played 28 minutes. From this season, he's played 3 games where he's played at least 28. He had 19, 10, and 5. So Denver has a decent defense. They give up 6th in rebounds, 29th in assists. So they give up more assists than any other team pretty much. If you go to the center position, 18 and 18. Power forward, 14 and 13. So to the big man, they give up middle of the pack in both categories, and I think this is going to be a good matchup for Holmgren. I think it's going to be a competitive game tonight, and I like this play. So Holmgren over 9.5 rebounds and assists, you can lock in, and I don't think this one's on Prizepicks either. We will check though. Let's see here. I wish there was maybe there's a filter, and I'm just stupid and not noticing it. But so you can get him at 10. So you can get Holmgren at 10. 10's okay. It just adds push potential. So if he cashes 9.5, obviously he at least pushes 10, and that's still, he wouldn't chalk if he had 10. You would still have a better payout. So that's okay to take on Prizepicks. I prefer to buy it down a little bit and have a better payout, but overall, it's totally up to you guys what you want to do. So those are our 4 plays, guys. Let's take a look at them again. We got our man Jalen Brunson over 25.5 points. Aaron Gordon over 27.5 fantasy score. Chet Holmgren over 9.5 rebounds and assists. And then we do have our man Al Horford over 7.5 rebounds and assists as well. Lock them in if you like them. Fade them if you don't. You guys saw the money lines already. If you don't want to tell those, obviously, just fade them. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. Hope you cash every single slip. If you would do me a huge favor, join our Discord server. Absolutely free. And I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video after we hopefully get this sweep.